Today, I'm going to make a case for the existence of God. Okay? I'm going to make a case for the existence of God. Now, this is going to be very different than what a lot of people do to make a case for the existence of God. There's other material out there. There's other people that's done a really good job at that. You know, there's got you got the people that have the theory that the watch in a box. How do you shake up parts and make a watch? How often can you do that and put something together unless something intelligent puts it together? You got theories like that. You know, I didn't come up with that, but there's plenty of theories out there scientifically to point to a potential existence of God. But I'm not going to look at this from a scientific perspective. Okay, I'm gonna make a case for the existence of God. Okay, from an observational perspective. Okay, based on what we see in reality and based on psychologically, if such an entity were to exist, how would they behave when interacting with you? That's the case I'm gonna make. Now check this out. Okay, check this out. I'm about to go deep with you. Okay, I'm about to go deep with you. A lot of people, okay, they call themselves agnostics, okay, or atheists, but I'm going to focus on the agnostic for a second. The way agnosticism works is you can't prove the existence of God, but you also, if you're honest with your agnosticism, you can't disprove the existence of God either, okay? A lot of people look at it, they lean very heavy on the side of can't prove the existence of God, but they never look at this side over here. You can't disprove the existence of God. Now, that's for the agnostics. But for the atheists, they just outright don't believe. So, okay, that's fine. We're going to deal with both of those, okay? But this is what we're going to look at. Let's hypothetically imagine that there is a intelligent design, okay? Hypothetically. Okay, in order to scientifically weigh something out, you have to weigh hypotheticals on both sides, or you're not even experimenting. So if you can imagine a hypothetical that God doesn't exist, okay, I mean, you have people saying that all the time, okay, it's very easy to come to these conclusions, okay, you can't see him, you can't smell him, you can't test him, you can't prove him empirically, so he doesn't exist. Okay, you've done that hypothetical already, right? But let's go to the hypothetical that this God does exist. Okay? Let's go to this hypothetical. Okay? This God, if he does exist, hypothetically, we're being scientific, if he exists, okay, what we can observe empirically is that this God, for whatever reason, he chooses not to show himself. Okay? Empirically, if we hypothetically going with the idea that if this God exists, we know for sure that empirically this God likes to hide himself. He doesn't like to show himself. Okay? All right? Now roll with me. Okay? You see with your own eyes that he doesn't like to show himself. Okay? So now check this out. If you have a God that created this whole universe, created this whole earth, created all these people, created all these atoms, created everything, right? And he decides to hide himself, and you don't see him, right? Here's what you have to ask yourself if you're trying to prove his existence or not. What are you doing to get this God's attention that he would come out of his hiding for you? Now we're looking at the psychology of if this God exists, and we're using observable evidence that we can't see him, okay? So we can conclude he doesn't want to show himself. What are you doing to get his attention? If he does exist, what are you doing to get his attention? Okay, what are you doing to get his attention? Because obviously, if he wants to hide himself like this, he's doing so for a reason, okay? He's doing so for a reason. So if he's doing so for a reason, check this out. You must be doing something to get his attention. in order to see whether he exists or not. Okay? Because he's obviously set this thing up for you to have a choice to believe in his existence or not. That's in the design. Okay? That's in the design. For whatever reason. You can observe that, right? What are you doing to get his attention? Okay? What are you doing to get his attention? And check this out. If you were to get his attention, okay? If you were to get his attention, and obviously this God is very powerful. This God has a lot of ability. This God has a lot of intelligence. What are you doing to get his attention? Not only what are you doing to get his attention, but what would you do if you met such a God as him? Now check this out. If you're the type of person that has a problem with authority, a type of person that's rebellious, a type of person that's spiteful or all kind of things like that, okay? Why would you want to meet this God? Why would he want to reveal himself to such a person? Not only is it a question, what are you doing to get his attention? But if you get his attention, okay, would you really want to meet him? That's the question. Would you really want to meet him? Based on your own habits, your own lifestyle, so on and so forth, would you really want to meet him? And if you did meet him, what would you do with him? What would you do with him? What would you do if you found God? What would you do if you proved that he existed? What would you do with that information? And if you don't have a decent answer with that, then you're probably wasting his time and your own. Okay? If you're exploring to explore, that makes sense. If you're exploring because you want to know what the truth is, that makes sense. Okay? But if you're one of these people, because I talk to a decent amount of atheists, if you're one of these people that can look at this whole planet and everything that he created, and you say, that's not good enough, and that's not good enough, why would he want to meet you?